Today on Dr. Oz, everyone's talking about Whole30, the underground health movement that's sweeping the nation.
No weighing at all.
No weighing yourself until the program is over.
You guys like that part?
If you're on a mission to get healthier, this is the show for you. Overhaul your entire diet in 30 days. Look better, feel better, be better. This is your season to shine. Coming up next on Dr. Oz.
Hundreds of thousands of images just like these are popping up all over the web. People all around the world. Take a look at this. Amazing before and afters. Healthy meals that, they look so tasty. And inspiring success stories. Now, this phenomenon is called Whole30. It's an elimination plan to overhaul your entire diet in 30 days. And folks, it's gone viral. Now, I wanted to find out how it all started. Whole30 began as an underground movement back in 2009. The brainchild of husband and wife, Dallas and Melissa Hartwig. Melissa was a type A personality in a corporate job that was taking a toll on her mind and body. Dallas was into fitness, but when he injured his shoulder, the couple went on a mission to get healthier. Melissa quit her high-paying career, and together they started a blog, researching foods that could ease his pain and get her energy back. Virtually overnight, word of mouth turned their grassroots nutritional program into an internet sensation. Their websites now serve more than 1 million visitors a month, and they've even written a New York Times bestseller. It starts with food. So let's get to the plan. Dallas and Melissa Hartwig are here. Melissa, take us through this Whole30 plan. Explain how it works and who is it right for?
So doing the Whole30 is like pushing the reset button with your health, your habits, and your relationship with food. For 30 days, you'll eat nothing but real, whole, nutrient-dense food. No added sugar, no processed food, no junk food, and no cheats, no slips, and no excuses. Finally, because the Whole30 is about so much more than weight loss, you're not allowed to step on the scale for the full 30 days.
No weighing at all.
No weighing yourself at all until the program is over.
You guys like that part? It's very risque.
It is a little.
And Dallas, why 30 days? What's so magical about that number?
So there's nothing magical about that number, but we've done a lot of research into behavior change and habits. And what we found is that 30 days is a good, achievable goal for people. That they can wrap their heads around it. They can say, you know what, like this is a big radical departure from what I've been doing, but I can do anything for 30 days.
Mm-hmm. What stunned me is how viral this has become. I see it all over the place in very unexpected ways. So I actually wanted to hear more about the Whole30 strategies. And I wanted to meet some of the people who have been transformed for them. So you're going to also. So let's start with the first Whole30 strategy, which is to pick foods that have satiety breaks. So Melissa, explain what those are.
Sure. So sometimes the foods we're eating make us feel like our appetites are out of control, like a runaway train with no brakes. When you eat whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense food, it puts natural brakes on your food, satiety signals that tell you it's okay to stop eating. One of the most important food with brakes is protein. So we include a complete protein from a healthy, high-quality animal source with each meal as a way to help us feel satisfied. It's one of the most important Whole30 strategies.
So that doesn't sound very hard. It sounds pretty important. So I wanted to see how it would help Gina, because she went from a size 12 to a size 2. So let me show you what Gina looked like before. There's a before picture. You ought to meet Gina, our first success story. Gina, please walk on out. You know, they would not let me meet you ahead of time, but this is unbelievable. I mean, look, I would have you curtsy to everybody. That is remarkable.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I understand that there was a little bit of an aha moment that a lot of the audience might relate to. What was the moment where you finally had that insight, that light went off, the epiphany that you needed to do something?
I was bridesmaids dress shopping. My best friend had asked me to be a bridesmaid, and everyone else in the bridal party was a 2, a 4, and I was, a size 12, pretty overweight, couldn't try on any of the dresses that the other girls were trying on. I remember I texted my husband from the dressing room and I said, you know, I look awful, I feel terrible, I'm gonna ruin Marilyn's wedding.
Oh no.
And a couple days later, I was scrolling on Instagram and a friend of mine had posted a jar of ghee and some veggies and fruits and said, I'm stocking up for my first Whole30. So, you know, having tried other plans in the past, I researched the Whole30, landed on thewhole9.com, and the rest is history. Started my first Whole30 and...
I understand it was not just about weight. That's the part about this that's impressed me, and that's the part I frankly like the most. You look great. I'm happy for that. What else changed inside of you?
I was a horrible sleeper. I don't know if it was a combination of what I was eating and stress, but on the Whole30 and ever since, I sleep like a baby. No sleeping pills, nothing, you know, to do with that. And I had really, really high blood pressure and cholesterol the December that I started. So I was told by my doctor if it wasn't under control within 6 months, I would have to start taking medication at 27 years old.
Oh my.
So.
And your blood pressure?
Blood pressure, everything is perfectly normal. I'm in a great, perfect range.
Come on over here. Let's cross back here. I want to see how you actually made this work. So this issue of a satiety break is an important one. It also, I think, for me anyway, is critical. It's one of those big ideas, because if you don't have hunger, then it's not hard to do the program.
Absolutely.
So how'd you make it work for you?
Well, every morning we would do sweet potato and ground beef hash. You can put all different types of vegetables like onions, peppers in it, and then add, you know, an egg on the top.
Just to make sure I understand this, so for you, in this case anyway, we pretended, or maybe it is really for you, ground beef.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was really for you. So,
oh yeah.
Okay, so serving ground beef for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And how much, roughly, Dallas, of ground beef can you have as a serving size?
Yeah, so the really easy ballpark measurement for protein servings is the palm of your hand, and 1 to 2 per meal. So because it's such a good satiety signal, it's an easy way to self-regulate, and that's what Gina experienced when she did the Whole30.
Absolutely.
Was it easy?
I think, you know, the first couple of days are a little rough. Black coffee is rough at first, no cheese is rough at first, but the benefits are pretty much right away, and it's hard to stop once you feel that good.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Absolutely.
And I hope the wedding went well.
It did. Thank you.
The next Whole30 strategy is for those who crave sugar. It's to find new sources of sweetener. I want to take a look at how it helped Trinity lose nearly 53 inches.
When I first heard about Whole30, I was skeptical, but then I started to see the inches melt off my own waist. I've lost 52.5 inches since May. I used to crave sugar constantly, like cookies and ice cream, but now I've reset my body to enjoy other types of sweetness, like whole real fruit and rooibos tea. I thought I couldn't live without sugar, but now I can't imagine going back. My goal was to fit into my favorite jacket, and on day 28, it fit. I can't tell you how good it feels to say that.
So it's important to know that Whole30 doesn't mean never having to eat anything sweet again, because if that was the case, you wouldn't do it. So the question is, what are the alternatives to the usual sweets that trick us up? What are they?
True.
Melissa?
So one of the most difficult things on the Whole30 is people craving something sweet after a meal. We're so conditioned to want that dessert. Our favorite substitution is to brew a cup of rooibos tea. So it's naturally caffeine-free and naturally sweet, and it's a really good substitution for that sugar craving if you're kind of crawling through the pantry after dinner.
You know, my wife Lisa drinks this a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's secretly on the Whole30 plan.
Maybe, and she just didn't tell you.
That's how I probably found out about it. I bet she left it on my browser. All right, the next Whole30 strategy is to find the right balance of fats. And Dallas, if you can, succinctly tell us which of the fats you really want us to focus on, and which ones should we not be eating as part of our diet?
Sure, so we really try to get people to avoid the refined vegetable oil, so things like corn, soybean, and peanut oil. And we try to get people to focus on whole foods-based, natural healthy fats, so things like avocado, coconut, nuts, and butter, or clarified butter in this case, or ghee.
All right, so finding the right balance of fats helped Allison go down 10 sizes. It also got rid of her pain. Let me show you a picture of what Allison looked like before she started the program. Allison, please join us. I want to see what you look like now. Come on out, Allison. You know, I love that you lost the weight. Please come in. But there's just color to you now.
Yes.
You actually look like. First, before I get to the weight issue, talk about this pain problem you were having. You were taking ibuprofen?
Exactly. I had headaches daily, back pain, muscle aches, everything. I didn't feel right, and by switching what I ate and having a lot more clean eating, most of the inflammation is now gone in my body, and that was what was causing a lot of the pain for me.
These are the stories that are so important for me to get out there. Because when you realize you don't have to be on meds all the time for something that's treatable with food, forget about the weight. That's like a side benefit that you lost all that weight.
Yeah.
It's the real issue that you've addressed that is important to me. Okay, now this ghee issue, I actually heard about it through your story. So if you could take it away, explain to me why you're in love with ghee and how do you use ghee?
Sure. So I use ghee basically for anything that I potentially would use butter for before. I love making zoodles. My best friend is Italian.
Zoodles?
Yeah, she makes pasta all the time. And I thought, with this, I can't have pasta, but instead I make zucchini noodles. So,
zucchini noodles.
And I just basically shred it, and it becomes like pasta for me. And then I'll put some ghee with it, and potentially mix it with some herbs or shrimp, and I basically make my own version of shrimp scampi.
Do you have to heat up the ghee before you use it?
I do. So, or I'll toss the ghee with it, or I'll toss the zucchini with it towards the end.
Let me see this ghee stuff. Who's heard of ghee before? Does everyone know ghee except me in the country? Like, right, I'm not alone. Tastes like butter. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't have the protein, so you don't have the allergies. Is that the issue, Dallas?
Absolutely.
I want to congratulate you. I'm very proud. In fact, I'm proud of all the folks who've been on the plan. And they found it themselves. It's not a commercial plan. Something you found on your own. So I want to take you all through this. We're going to start the Oz Whole 30 Challenge. So I'm going to make it really easy. I'm putting the Whole 30 strategies and all the recipes we talked about and a bunch more on DrOz.com. Take advantage of it. It is free. Nothing will hold you back. We'll be right back with you.
Next, whether newly engaged or longtime married, have you both packed on the pounds? Your significant other could be a significant factor to your weight gain. Learn to break those shared habits today. A course of action to lose weight together. Next. Dr. Oz and Sam Champion have your winter survival guide. See how to stay healthy in cold and flu season.
The one thing I want you to know is
all new Dr. Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
Many relationships are centered around food, and research shows whether you're newly married or married for over 20 years, sometimes your significant other can be a significant factor in why you're putting on the pounds. Please meet Angela and Ron.
Hi, I'm Angela.
And I'm Ron, and we're getting married July 18th.
When you're going into marriage, it's a happy time. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, but since we met, I have gained about 50 pounds, and I call it happy weight.
I've always been bigger. Like, I couldn't tell you when I put on weight. It gradually happened.
Sometimes we try to eat good, but then there's other times when it's just kind of like, we haven't eaten at all today, so let's have a huge meal now.
You didn't start eating without me already, did you?
No.
We do like a lot of breads and cheeses.
Yeah, she hit it. My favorite food that I just can't pass up, cheese. I like your Alfredo.
And there's plenty more if you want seconds.
I have high blood pressure. I got diagnosed about 5 or 6 years ago with sleep apnea, so I wear CPAP for that. And I have gout/arthritis.
Both sides of my family have heart disease, diabetes, and so I'm very aware of what could happen. There's some of the Unity candles.
I like the colors you have here.
I have a picture in the back of my head of what I used to look like when I got out of the military, and so I know what I don't look like anymore. I want to be able to look at my wedding photos and feel pride and joy, and I don't want to feel ashamed of how I look. I know what dress I want. I'm in love with this dress, and I know I would look fabulous in it if I lost some weight.
When we get married, one of the things we've talked about is kids. I want to be able to do things with my kids. I don't want to have to be restricted by my size.
Yes, in the vows, it's in sickness and in health, but obviously you want to do everything you can so that you do have the happiest, healthiest, longest life possible together.
Newly engaged couples, Angela and Ron, are here. Congrats on the engagement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet somebody from Cleveland.
Yes, I was born in Cleveland.
I know.
Yes.
Big fans.
We'll come back to Cleveland in a moment because it may play a little role in this story. Angela, let's talk a little bit about your weight, if you don't mind. How's it changed since you met Ron?
I've gained about 50 pounds since I met Ron, and I call it a happy weight because I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I don't really think about the number until I step on the scale when I'm at a doctor's office. And so that's when it kind of hits me and I'm like, oh no, something has to change.
Ron, let's fast forward. July 18th, your beautiful bride, Angela's coming down the aisle, that lovely white dress. What are you going to be thinking at that very moment?
At that moment, I will probably think how lucky I am and how beautiful she looks.
Well, you're right on both those accounts. So part of my goal is to make sure that you're together for a long time, which is why I asked you to visit. And I suspect deep down inside, you know that's the real mission here. So, Angela, I know it's been a bit of a difficulty dealing with weight anyway, but what is it like when your fiancé is also struggling with weight issues? Does that make it easier or harder for you to focus on it?
I'd say it's both. Because with him being a bigger guy, I always feel smaller, no matter how bigger I get. And it's also a struggle.
And Dr. Oz, I do have to say, and I'll be honest, I told her to be honest, so I'll say it because she doesn't want to. I enable her because, you know, if I have a very weird schedule, and if she ever is cooking or something and doesn't feel like, you know, she wants to cook or says, you know, I'm kind of tired, I had a rough day, I'll be like, okay, let's go out. And I know that I shouldn't, but I don't want to see her sad.
I don't want to see her sad either. In fact, I think she'll be sadder if we don't deal with this issue.
I agree.
Than if we ignore it. Which, although the food short term does it, I know you all know this.
Yeah.
So keep holding hands. I love that you're doing that, and walk back with me to the truth tube. Now, the truth tube is just going to tell you the truth. You got to cuddle up here close to it. It's not going to bite you. If you even get closer, believe me, you're going to be able to see these numbers. So I'm not going to go through the medical issues that you're facing because they're all completely reversible, and they're only dependent on one factor, which is your weight. It's the number one concern I have. It's not the most important number I'm going to show you, but it's the number one concern that I have. Now, Ron, I don't have a problem showing a man's weight. If it's okay with you, I'll put yours out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you're about 400 pounds?
Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
Angela, I don't have to show your number. I don't like to make women feel ashamed in any capacity about themselves. I only bring it up because it might be valuable as an ally to Ron to be able to track you together. So can I show your weight?
Yep.
You're sure? All right. So, Angela, you're 240 pounds. Sounds about right?
Right. It's the highest I've ever been.
Well, we're going to change that.
I hope so. And we can do it together.
That's right. That's right.
Frankly, I don't care about these numbers that much. I know they're more than you want them to be, and I'm only putting them there so we have something to start measuring against. That's my only goal here. Ron, what is your biggest fear? We've talked about the love you have for each other. I want you to use that energy in your heart to be honest about this. The biggest fear you have for the future of the two of you together.
My biggest fear is, I'll be honest, Dr. Oz, when we first met, I never believed in marriage. I never really thought there would be a girl that was honest, that I could really fall in love with. So I didn't ever think I would get married. So it was just a single guy. The weight didn't really, matter as much to me when it was me. But now I have found someone I want to spend my life with. I want to be around for her, and we've talked about having kids. And my mother, when she was a single mother, and she tried the best she could, but we didn't eat well. And she unfortunately had health problems when I was in high school, and she could never be at my events and the things like I know she wanted. So I don't want to do that if we have kids. I want to be able to be there and be with them.
The biggest mistake I see couples making is they plan a lot for the wedding. They don't plan for the marriage.
Right.
So, Angela, how do you want to feel on your wedding day?
I want to feel beautiful. I want to feel good about myself. I want to have confidence because right now when I look at pictures of myself, I want to avoid them. I try to avoid pictures. I try to be the one always taking pictures so that there aren't pictures of me.
But can I put the most important number up there now?
Yes, sir.
This is the number I want you to celebrate around. It's number 2. There are 2 of you here. 2 of you together forever. That's what you're going to say. Statistically, having 2 of you doing this is going to dramatically improve your odds of success. Because when you're together like that, you're going to be there for each other. And it's much more important than any number you'll ever see in a scale. This dwarfs the weight, the blood pressure, all the other things you might have. There are couples, lots of couples watching right now who are witnessing this and then saying, you know what, that's my number 2. That's the number I need to get in my mind in order to get back to health. So if you're into this right now, I can tell you I can turn that number into health for you. That way you'll be there forever for each other and for the kids you take care of.
Yes, please.
Yes. All right. When we come back, a weight loss plan for every couple who wants to join forces to lose the weight together. I'll be right back.
Next, couples share a lifetime of mutual habits. So what happens when they become unhealthy? Chris and Heidi Powell share easy diet tips to get you motivated and re-engaged.
Working together as a couple, your chances of success skyrocket.
The weight loss plan for every couple. Next.
They tackle some of the most extreme weight losses ever. America's fitness couple, Chris and Heidi Powell, are joining us today. They are going to help this couple and they're going to give you a plan to lose the weight you need before that wedding.
Yes.
Is that the promise?
Awesome. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Yes.
Now, we got only till July 18th. The clock is ticking. That's your aspiration, to be able to lose a couple dress sizes. Is that right?
Right.
Be as healthy as you can be?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Chris, you work with couples a lot. Is it better to divide and conquer or to give them the same plan and have them move together?
Well, without a doubt, we found the exact same thing that all those statistics have proven, that working together as a couple, your chances of success, they skyrocket exponentially. I mean, in fact, right now, we're in the new season of Extreme Weight Loss. We're working with 3 couples that are losing the weight for the wedding. So this is something that we just recently started.
Now it's 4 couples.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But also, like you guys were saying, there's a double-edged sword, because while you two can be your greatest allies, you can also be your biggest enemies. Like you're saying, you talk about enabling her. Mm-hmm. So this is something that we need to be very aware of moving forward, but at the same time, gosh, guys, this can be so exciting. And the shared experiences that you guys can have, we've seen this time and time again. These couples, when they embrace it together, they take their relationship to a whole new level that they never even dreamed.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to give you guys some crutches. Come on over here.
Okay.
Let's get to the couple's weight loss plan. And Chris, as you walk over here, if you can, give us sort of a high-level strategy. How did you create this plan, and what is it at its very core?
Yeah, you bet. It's kind of a 3-pronged approach. Number 1, time is of the essence. We need to get you lean and mean to get into that tux by July 18th, and you got to be sexy in that wedding dress. So we got to do this quickly, but fortunately, we still have enough time. On top of that, we also needed to create something that's going to work for both men and for women, so for all the couples out there. So this is gonna work for you, but on top of that, this is the kind of plan that's gonna keep the two of you always in sync together.
Okay.
So it's got a couple important facets. The first thing you have to remember is that on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, they're gonna be low-carb days.
Okay.
Very straightforward. Please explain what that is, Chris.
All right, so basically the low carb days, we're gonna start within, always want to eat breakfast within 30 minutes of waking, and you're gonna eat every 3 hours after for a total of 5 meals. So you're gonna start off with a high carb breakfast, but that's the only time you're gonna eat those carbs, and then we pull the carbs throughout the rest of the day.
How do you give us the details?
Okay, so details like breakfast. So we have like an egg white omelet with a baked potato on the side. For your snack, you're gonna do a cottage cheese, which is a wonderful protein with a handful of almonds or some kind of a nut butter. Lunch, this is one of my favorite things ever. It's a bison burger. We remove the bun, no carb, add in cheese for your healthy fats, and then throw in some veggies on the side.
Just making sure there's a burger in there.
Yeah, there's a burger there for you.
This is what we're dealing with, burger.
There we go.
God.
Okay.
But I also added your cheese, Ron, because I know how much you love cheese.
That's my biggest problem. You were asking her, my biggest addiction is cheese.
Cheese is only a problem if you eat it the wrong time, the wrong way, the wrong amount. In this plan, the low-carb dates, cheese is your ally.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like seeing, because there was like the cottage cheese, cheese there, and then, I like that.
Yeah, then for your snack, the turkey and cheese again. So it goes to show that you can actually eat the foods that you love if Dr. Oz says, you actually time them and combine them correctly.
Excellent.
Then for dinner, we love a good citrus steak with a side salad. I mean, add in as many green veggies as you can. Those are really what are gonna fill up your body and kind of bulk your stomach so you don't get hungry late at night.
So can I confide something in you?
Yes, sir.
You might say, well, how come everyone doesn't do this all the time? There's one little problem with this. When you're on a low-carb diet like this, some of those feel-good foods aren't going to be allowed, which means when your blood sugar is not where it's used to being, which is sky high, you might get a little testy with each other. The tension will mount. I'm just saying it right now.
Yeah.
So, is that right? So, give me, Chris and Heidi, give me some advice. How do folks handle this?
Why are you pointing to me? Okay.
You don't want to be around him on a low-carb meal. Just say that.
You don't want to be like them.
Look, we can get a little grumpy sometimes, but like Dr. Oz was saying, your glucose levels drop a little bit. You can definitely find yourself craving some carbohydrates, but at the same time, energy levels drop, mental clarity's not quite there, and you can definitely get a little bit hangry.
So we got a TV in 2 rooms.
Good, perfect. All right, come on over here. This is a high carb day. And on high carb days, it's a whole different rules. This is Wednesdays and Saturdays. And this is really important for a bunch of reasons, because Chris, walk us through how they're going to feel and what's going to happen on high-carb days.
Absolutely. So same rules as far as breakfast goes. Breakfast within 30 minutes, eating every 3 hours after. But you're going to see we've got carbohydrates. We've got, of course, the tortilla and the granola and the bun and all these different things in here. They're going to help boost that metabolism and get you fired up again. And, of course, on these days, you're going to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
You're going to be a little bit more affectionate toward each other.
Now, with the one thing we were talking about with the schedule I have, it's hard to eat anything from a certain period of time because I do teach. Would just an apple be okay for one of these quick snacks, or should I add to it?
Yeah, you can easily do an apple. Just make sure you pair it with a protein shake. Super easy, and it's really fast.
And no joke, we drink shakes all the time, and you can make them in about 30 seconds, and it's great. You can get the protein part of your meal, couple it with a carb, you're good to go.
Okay.
Then when you guys get home, now this is time for the two of you to bond and to cook together. This is one of my favorite apple cider chicken dishes with quinoa on the side. And then you guys can still add a side salad or something, again, to bulk up your stomach and just keep you feeling fuller longer.
All right, Chris, let's get to the big day. This is the day they've been looking forward. What happens? Yeah. What happens?
This is what I'm talking about.
On Sunday.
And you thought all that cheese was good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. You've had a wonderful day. You've got 6 days behind you of those high and low carb days, but it's important that you satisfy those emotional, those psychological, and some of those physical cravings that you've got. And so it's okay to eat those foods that you want. But once again, we just eat them in moderation. Try a slice of pizza. Try some spaghetti and meatballs. Try a slice of cake. And we always allow for our folks to eat an extra 1,000, sometimes even 1,200 calories on top of what they normally eat, rewarding themselves. And it's okay. And best of all, physiologically, all those extra calories, they're going to help boost your metabolism even more to maximize your fat loss when you drop into your next low carb day. So once again, these are going to help you lose weight.
Yeah.
So let's just get back to the fundamental here, because I want to quick this back. And I'm hoping this is helpful. It's just a start.
Yes.
Right.
All these details are on DrOz.com. You can all do this together because there are lots of couples watching right now. Chris, what is a rational thing for Ron and Angela to expect if they follow this plan?
Well, of course, with most of the folks that we work with, they lose a significant amount of weight. So, I mean, without a doubt, like I said earlier, you can be lean and mean in that tux. We're talking between 200 and 300 pounds, because you're at 400 right now. Yes. And of course, Angela, I mean, we can get you down to the 150, 175 pound range. This is, of course, if you're following the plan, but of course, and it's really important that we also understand that no weight loss program is complete without that exercise component. It's really important that we're gonna throw that in there. And of course, Heidi and I, we're gonna be working with you guys over the next few months as we're getting you guys where you want to go.
Thank you so
much. That's a threat, not a promise. So
be careful what you ask.
You're about to take, I think, the most important oath you're going to take in your lives. And as you read those precious words at your betrothal, you're going to say, in sickness and in health. So I want you to be closer to the in health part.
Yes, sir.
I suspect you want that too.
Absolutely.
Yes. So everyone at home, please listen carefully. I want you to text your spouse that it's on. It is on. We are putting Chris and Heidi's entire couples plan to lose weight on DrOz.com. Do it together. Hold each other accountable. Don't enable each other. I'll be right back.
Coming up next, what you're storing in your cupboard could have the power to fight cholesterol the natural way. 4 everyday staples you and your family can easily add to your diet. Cholesterol-fighting solutions to keep you heart healthy. Next. Dr. Oz and Sam Champion have your winter survival guide. See how to stay healthy in cold and flu season.
The one thing I want you to know is
all new Dr. Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
So I asked my entire audience to take a photo of one of the most intimate places in their homes. So ladies, show me your pantries. Let me see all the pantries. Got beautiful ones up here. Come join me if you don't mind. I like that pantry. So listen, the foods in your pantry have the power to fight cholesterol the natural way. That's very interesting. Just put that picture up on the full screen so everyone can see it, please. This is Deborah's pantry. That peanut butter's been getting a lot of love. You notice that?
Yes.
It looks like it's almost done. It's been done for a while. So, you use your pantry as a medicine for health?
Yes. Yes, I do. The peanut butter is to make me feel good.
Yeah, it does that.
And the marshmallows help the peanut butter go down.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I didn't notice that before. Thank you for letting me know that. I figured that was something else. Well, listen, let's talk about cholesterol. That's our topic today.
Yes.
You ever get yours checked?
Yes.
And what kind of numbers do you run?
Borderline.
Borderline?
Borderline. so.
Are people threatening medication?
Yes, and we don't want that to happen.
So what have you been doing to avoid being put on meds?
I'm going back to the gym.
Good.
And changing my diet, and hopefully you can help me fill in.
Yes, I'm going to help you and everybody else.
Good.
Of all the things that we could cut back on medications for in America, I would put cholesterol medications at the top. They're life-saving when taken correctly, but usually we can do it ourselves.
Great.
So let's walk through this. We'll get started with this battle to fight off your cholesterol. So Deborah, I'm going to show you what your artery might look like. It looks like this. See this little artery here with little plaques in there? These are your purple artery cleaning gloves. Go ahead and don those first. And what we're going to do today is literally clean out the plaque from our arteries. And we're going to do that with the foods that we have in our pantry. Not the, the fluffernutter sandwiches you're making, the marshmallow stuff. You must use white bread for that too, I bet.
No, I use wheat bread.
The height of irony. Wheat bread with the marshmallow stuff. All right, so rip off this plaque over here. Be aggressive. Take that off. There we are. Good. You got it. You got it.
Okay.
This is extra virgin olive oil. And if you use extra virgin olive oil, it is liquid gold for your arteries. They absolutely adore it. You can take your gloves off.
Okay.
But that mushy stuff that we had here, the goopy stuff that we had, that's what the plaque looks like in your arteries. Can you all see that? And you don't want that peeling up. So today's lesson is going to walk you through some foods to make sure you don't have to fight that cholesterol battle. So the nice thing about olive oil, it will naturally increase the good cholesterol that pulls out the plaque and get rid of that lousy LDL cholesterol so many people are struggling with. But you got to make the right decision about what kind of olive oil to get. And remember, within 2 hours of taking the right olive oil, you're thinning your blood already. It works that quickly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know what? Do me a favor. Do a little taste test, seriously. Part of what we're going to teach everyone today is how to pick the right olive oil. There's two things to do. Go ahead and taste the two of them. Notice the color difference, by the way. See what one's light and one's dark? Taste them and compare them. The lighter one, generally, is that what you would normally take, the light one at home?
Yes.
She's in shock, petrified. Most people don't look through the bottle that carefully, but I want you to from now on. If it's light colored, it's usually more processed. More processed olive oil has less of the beneficial compounds that we need to clear the arteries out. So you want the darker colored one. So you tasted the one that I didn't want you to taste.
Oh.
Now that you tasted that one, taste this one. Because the second part of our little examination, besides the color, is to make sure it has the right taste. Describe that taste and compare it to the first one.
That's definitely tastes better than that. That taste process.
Yeah. Well, this tastes often a little bland to me.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little bit bitter or peppery.
Yeah.
Good description. It tastes like it looks richer, more robust. It's coming alive because the chemicals haven't been killed off.
It's got a better taste on my tongue.
Good. So then this is what I want you to pick from now on. When you have the right olive oil, you'll be in good shape for getting that cholesterol down. Okay, that's the first thing, olive oil. Let's go back to our artery now.
Okay.
All right. And once you rip off this plaque here, you won't need your gloves. Pull that down. And broccoli sprouts. Have you heard of broccoli sprouts?
Yes.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Not sure she's heard of them. Have you ever had broccoli sprouts with marshmallows?
No.
Just asking. Okay. Or peanut butter or anything. They look like this. They look like alfalfa, but they're actually baby broccoli plants. They obviously are harvested relatively early in their lifespan, and they're beautifully effective because just a handful a day, literally taking like that much a day, which is not hard to eat. You can put it on a sandwich like we've shown here.
Okay, I could do that.
And it reduces inflammation in the arteries. Without the inflammation, you don't have a battle going on inside of here.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep cleaning this artery out. Rip that one off. See what you got there. And it is chickpeas.
Chickpeas.
How can something as simple and inexpensive as chickpeas, or frankly lentils or regular peas, be helpful? That's the part about this equation that a lot of people like me are struggling with. It's such a clear tip to give to everybody, such an easy takeaway for everyone. And I love the fact that they're available in cans. It reduces your bad cholesterol. It's got fiber, so it lowers your cholesterol risk, your cardiovascular risk by pulling all that stuff out of your body. You need about 3/4 of a cup, which is not, this is more than 3/4 of a cup. You need 3/4 of a cup just a day, ideally, in order to, again, make your life with your cholesterol a lot more easy.
I had the hummus backstage, so I got my quota for today. That was good.
Well, who gave you the hummus?
You did.
I did. I gave you the hummus.
You did.
I give all my guests hummus. I do it on purpose. So no matter what happens,
good too.
Yeah, no matter what happens on the show, people have a good bowel movement tonight afterwards.
Thank you very much.
It works very effectively. All right, clean up the artery, finish it off.
All right.
Now your artery's gonna be pristine and clean when we're done here. And the last little tip I'm gonna offer to everybody is citrus fruit. And citrus fruit is valuable for a lot of reasons, including the vitamin C. Do you like citrus?
Yeah. I get it in. I try.
You don't like the taste, or it's just hard to, is a hassle?
It's a little acid reflux, so the oranges,
Yeah.
but I try to eat them a couple of times a week.
So different citrus affects reflux differently, but if you're having a lot of reflux, obviously you skip it. But if you're not, this is a pretty simple tip for a couple of reasons. It's got a lot of fiber. It's got a lot of fiber on the inside, within these little the wedges. That's why I prefer it as the whole fruit rather than the juice. You don't get the benefit from the juice. But this pectin that it's got in it is a kind of fiber that's really effective at holding the cholesterol in your gut and not letting it slip into the blood vessels, where it can cause that havoc that we talked about. 1 orange a day gets you where you need to be. See this little white stuff?
Yep.
That's the important stuff.
That's the stuff I pick off.
I know, we all do. But that little white stuff is actually where a lot of the fiber is. So please don't be so persnickety with picking off your white stuff.
Okay.
All right. So I posted a cholesterol-lowering grocery list on DrOz.com. Pick it up, replace your marshmallows and empty peanut butters with that, and your cholesterol will come right down. We'll be right back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coming up, a special optician who's had a generous vision, helping nearly 100,000 needy children, putting a frame on the world they couldn't really see. And now, you won't believe your eyes, the gift Dr. Oz has for him. Next.
Today, a genuine act of kindness that anyone who's ever found themselves squinting at a chalkboard will appreciate. Meet Joseph Carbone, who has helped nearly 100,000 needy children truly see the world.
I was the one in the back row getting in trouble because I couldn't see. And I didn't get my glasses until I was a teenager. This is America. It's amazing to me that there are kids without professional eye care. Talked to my wife and we decided to begin a nonprofit. We started rather small and very meagerly. We provide professional eye care, eye examinations, eye screenings, and eyeglasses to underprivileged children. Seymour is our mobile eye care unit that travels throughout southern Nevada. It goes to different schools, boys and girls clubs, and other nonprofits where we can see kids, give them vision screenings, eye examinations, and right there they can pick out their glasses. It's a professional eye doctor on wheels. What I really love about eye care for kids is that we are changing lives. Sure, it's a pair of eyeglasses, but it's reading, it's education, it's a child's future. The first year, we helped about 20 kids. Now, I'm proud to say that Eye Care for Kids is approaching 100,000 kids.
I couldn't see, but now that I have the glasses, I can see.
People have said I have tunnel vision, and I guess my vision is that every child in America who needs glasses should have glasses.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Joseph, thank you for being here. Joseph Carbone. So, you may all realize that you mortgaged your home in order to do eye exams and get glasses for these kids. Why do you feel so passionately about this?
Let me answer that by a story. So when I had my regular practice, a young man came into the office. Someone drove him from the reservation and paid for his glasses because his family couldn't afford it. We did an exam and we noticed that he was quite nearsighted, had astigmatism. He couldn't see past here, and he went his whole life that way. So he came back a week later, picked up his glasses, and he looked out the window. And he began to cry and laugh at the same time. And he said, "I didn't know trees had leaves."
Oh my.
That changed my life forever.
So what's the ultimate goal? Where's this all going?
Well, since 2001, we've helped 100,000 kids get exam and glasses. We want to help 100,000 kids a year across the United States. Right now, we're collaborating with the Boys and Girls Club in Newark, New Jersey to open a clinic there next summer. We need everybody's help. We need the whole community to get engaged in this to help us do this.
So I want to help. I'm going to start off very small. These are glasses that I am donating to you. Now, when I was a little kid, I loved science, and I especially loved little bugs. And if you can't see the bugs, you can't understand the science of them. So I truly adore this stuff. And so all the boys and girls, if you want to see the gross stuff up close, they'll be able to use some of these glasses. So if you give it to the right child.
I will do.
Now, I'm not the only one who wanted to help. Folks, please bring out the gifts. George, come over here. I would tell you, the optical department at BJ's Wholesale Club is donating $5,000. $5,000 worth of eyeglass frames and cases to Eye Care for Kids, your group. I hope you solve a lot more issues than just these, but it's a real celebration of what you're able to accomplish.
This is fantastic. This is just amazing. Thanks so much.
A lot more kids can see leaves now.
That's right.
Bless you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Joe Cigarboni. We'll be right back.
Dr. Oz and Sam Champion have your winter survival guide. See how to stay healthy in cold and flu season.
The one thing I want you to know is
all new Dr. Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
The Utah Jazz basketball team recently signed a new free agent guard to a one-day contract. 5-year-old J.P. Gibson is battling acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and the Jazz made his dream come true.
J.P. Gibson has come into the game.
Got his wristbands on, the whole works.
I think it's the inbound to J.P. carry J.P. play.
24.
Inbound to J.P. Here he comes. Working through the big man. Novak misses on the steal. He goes by Exum. Gobert is there. He slides by Gobert. He rises to the rim and hammers. J.P. Gibson with a two-hand flush.
You gotta love JP. Way to go, he's high-fiving all the pros. Listen, keep your eye on Twitter. This season, NBA players from all over the country are helping me and the Great Kids Foundation Health Corps get the message out on how to stay healthy. Your favorite players will be out there tweeting out the health secrets to success, the ones they use. I'm gonna retweet them right to you. In fact, superstar Dikembe Mutombo tweeted the first message. Go out to Twitter and check it out. Players will also join Health Corps on visits to public schools all across the country. Here's the goal. We want to encourage kids to make the best decisions about how to keep active, and pros know how to do it. That's how they got where they are. Now it's time for, in case you missed it, first, try the Whole 30 Challenge. For 30 days, skip out on foods that mess up your metabolism and inflame your body, things like sugars, dairy, and alcohol. Replace them with foods that keep you satiated, that'll help you lose weight without feeling hungry. Now, you want to eat foods that are high in protein and fat, like prime rib and fish and eggs. That's right, you heard me right, prime rib counts. That takes your out-of-control appetite and throws on the brakes so it doesn't take you in the wrong direction. Finally, let me close with a warning. I want you to be careful about what you buy online, especially weight loss pills. There's some dubious people online that prey on folks like you who are trying to do the right things for your health. Sometimes they make it seem like I'm endorsing the products that they're selling to you, but I don't. To see a full list of our trusted sponsorship partners, you can go to DrOz.com, and I'll see you next time.